67, 68, 69, 70, 71. Ooh, welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and leave us a 5-star review. Sorry, I was just trying to count during the intro how many points that was that Damian Lillard scored last night.
I thought you were counting your missed bets from last week.
Oh yeah, do you want me to do this right now? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm Shane Diefenbach, joined as always by my fabulous, wonderful co-host, Johnny Venerable. How are you feeling, Johnny?
Good. We're not going to talk about the combine today. We're going to talk NBA. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a soapbox on the Phoenix Suns at some point because I lost money yesterday gambling on the Phoenix Suns.
What was I going to say? I don't know. You kind of threw my whole rhythm off, Johnny. Are you excited to go to the combine? Who are you going with?
One great friend and then a big loser.
Bo, he's making fun of you again.
Oh, no.
Johnny and I are sitting next to each other on the plane.
We are. Exciting. We're going to share our complimentary cookies together.
We're going to share an armrest.
God help the person that's also seated with us.
I wish that you were sitting on an aisle row so we were sandwiched. Like we sandwiched a person, you know? I was on the inside, you're on the outside.
Like this, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, and then like when we order food, we could just use their table tray to share. That'd be perfect.
Do you mind? We use this as a mutual shared space. Woman in her 80s? No.
This isn't bets. We're not talking about bets right now. Let's talk about bets. Let's see what we did last week. We can pull up my props because they were weird. I went 0 for 1, even though I had 2 of them. SGA didn't play against the Suns, unfortunately. Donovan Mitchell did not get there. And then my picks, I think I went 2 for 3. Knicks -2, that did hit. Warriors -10, that did hit. Cavs got their shit pumped. So they did not win in that game.
Wasn't the Cavs pick your DraftKings pick of the week, aka what was your DraftKings?
That was the Lakers -6 against the Warriors on Thursday, which hit by a mile.
I feel like it was like your lock of the year. I feel like
the Cavs. No.
Cavs. Because they weren't playing the Hawks, who didn't have a coach, and you felt really good about it.
Yeah, but I didn't say it was my pick of the week.
Gotcha.
My pick of the week was my anti-pick against you, which ended up hitting. So
all right.
How'd you do?
If we could. Knicks are a gold wagon right now. That's a little precursor to tonight. Suns hit. That was comfortable. Man. A couple of the new additions for the Suns look good Friday night, and then they played a real team yesterday, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, how did that Nets pick go?
The Nets lost by almost 60 points to the Bulls, who are effing terrible. Not great, but we will move on. DeAndre Ayton, over-under. He did have over a point.
It was over under 20.5. He had 14.
Yeah. And then Mikal Bridges I don't think hit that.
I don't think he did a single thing. I think he was terrible in that game.
No, he had 13 points.
Yeah,
so
13.
Not great.
It is what it is. You can get those odds and many more on the DraftKings Sportsbook app with promo code PHNX. And when you download it now, sign up with that promo code PHNX. New customers can bet just $5 on the NBA and get $200 in bonus bets instantly only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. With code PHNX, you can get some no-sweat same-game parlays going. The MLB is here. Bet on some over-unders in the spring training games, which is always really fun. And yeah, there's just a ton of stuff available. There are combine odds, which we can get to later in the week. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do the show from Indianapolis, but we will see. We'll try to make it work for you guys. If not, Sean and the other people will hold it down here. But there's just a bunch of stuff available when you sign up using that promo code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. $5 on the NBA, $200 in bonus bets instantly only at DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NBA with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for more details. Let's see my picks for tonight. Let's talk about it. Dame Lillard dropping 71. I'm about to drop 71 here, 71 cents on all of these picks. 76ers at the Heat.
Terrible.
Give me the under at 217 in this game. Philly is one of those teams that you just don't really understand how they win and lose some games. And Miami's the same way, but Miami seems like Jimmy Butler is going to will them into a playoff spot here soon. So I think it's going to be a pretty competitive game with two of the top dogs in the East. I also love the Pistons +7. Give me the Pistons and give me everything they have. I feel like every time I bet on the Pistons, they're +7. Like that's just what they are. They're just perpetually +7. Tonight they're visiting the Hornets. Hornets should never be 7-point favorites, even in Charlotte. Give me the Pistons +7. And then the Pels -4 at home against the Magic. The Magic are a bad team. Pelicans are getting better. 4 points is not enough for me. So give me the Pelicans, give me the points.
I like it. I like the Pelicans. I'm going to take them as well. Here are my picks for tonight, and then I'm going to talk about the Phoenix Suns. The Knicks, who are a freight train from hell. I love them so much. +2.5. They're one of the hottest teams in the Eastern Conference. They've been playing fantastic ball post All-Star break. Julius Randle and company, your boy. I also like 76ers, who have looked better than the Heat lately. The Heat are gotten old real fast. I think they've lost, 5 in a row? I'm going to double down and I'm going to say they're going to inch closer and closer to 500 in the worst way possible. This line's already moved up to -6 for Philadelphia. Get it while you can. And then, as you just mentioned, Pelicans, all the right reasons, same as Shano. And now I'm going to talk quickly about the Phoenix Suns, because last night there was a barn burner. For those of you who were not watching the Trailblazer game and Damian Lillard, epic performance. Nuggets beat the Clippers in overtime, a game that really could have gone either way. I'm not a big believer in the Nuggets, but I do think that the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard right now, it's a scary team. It's a scary matchup. If you remember when the Phoenix Suns made their NBA Finals run a couple of years ago, I mean, I'm not going to point this out to be a jerk, but Kawhi Leonard was hurt, and the Golden State Warriors were kind of a shell of themselves with a bunch of players missing. I know that the Suns have Kevin Durant right now, but the Suns cannot lose against the Bucks without Giannis. That, to me, like, I understand they're still trying to replicate a lot of what they're missing with Cam and Mikal with no KD. That's unfair for me to say that. 2 of their better role players are gone, and they haven't been able to supplement KD yet. But the West is suddenly just so deep, and I need to see them start winning meaningful games on the road when the calendar turns this time of year. When the spring rolls around, they can't be laying it and shit in the bed in Milwaukee. I was not impressed with the game yesterday. No, go ahead.
This isn't the Lakers without LeBron and Anthony Davis, though. The Bucks without Giannis are still they blew the Heat out by 20+ points without Giannis the other night. Like they're very good. They are very good.
Isn't that your barometer? Is like you feel like you're on the same level with the Bucks, and then you take away the 2 best players, and you have the best player on the court in Devin Booker, and you still lost. That's not a good look. I don't like that.
Well, it was 1-1. I think the teams were pretty even, and you barely lost the game. You Booker can't start out that cold, and I don't expect that to happen. And they're not going to shoot so poorly from the free throw line like they did. Like
Drew Holiday getting 33. The teams are not even. Like, you have the better player in that game. Giannis is out. I'm not. Chris Middleton and Devin Booker, Drew Holiday and Devin Booker are not equals. So to me, it's like I think Kevin Durant's going to come be plug and play, and it's going to be hot fire in the Western Conference playoffs. But that, to me, it was like, okay, I'd put money on Milwaukee. And then I felt really good about it because Giannis wasn't playing, and they were still an underdog. And I'm like, what's going on here?
You put money on the Suns, you mean?
Yeah. And then they lost. And it's like, okay, well, is it a throwaway, meaningless game in February? I don't think so, because of the history between these two teams. I mean, that was disappointing. Because I think
I put money on the Suns also, but I'm just not in the same place as you. Like the Bucks are a championship caliber team again, and the only reason why I hated watching that game was because of the last play. I don't know if it reminded anybody, or not the last play, the last meaningful possession before Book got fouled on the 3. I don't know if it reminded anybody else of something, but Game 6 or Game 5 NBA Finals in Phoenix. Game 6. One of those games, one of the later games, Devin Booker has a great game, and he has the ball to tie it with 30 seconds to go, gets the ball in the paint, and you know what happens? Drew Holiday strips the ball. What happens in this game? Devin Booker driving down 2. Drew Holiday strips the ball again. Drew Holiday is one of the most underrated players in the NBA now.
No doubt. I mean, listen, would you rather have Drew Holiday or Chris Paul shooting about 30%? First of all, Chris Paul led the Suns in minutes that game with 40 minutes. That should not happen. And my only hope is, like, when KD shows up, like, Chris Paul, even though he plays a different position, like, they're not going to be predicated on him scoring, but he was atrocious. Like those are the flashbacks that I were having, that Chris Paul in the NBA Finals, and then last year in the postseason, just a complete liability. That, to me, is the bigger, like, Devin Booker had great games in the postseason last year and the NBA Finals that they lost. So I think you get KD as a perfect complement. But I'm a little bit concerned, more than a little bit concerned, that I thought DeAndre Ayton played really well. 11 rebounds, over 50% from the field.
I disagree.
Chris Paul to me, like, are we going to be sitting here 6 months from now and being like, okay, they're going to go all in next year and they have to get rid of Chris Paul? I think there's a possibility. I think Chris Paul could be the reason they don't win the NBA title this year.
I agree. The minutes thing can't happen, but that's on Monty. I thought Chris Paul was fine. Yeah, I don't know.
Payne's 1 for set. Like, your point, are you a liability at the point guard against elite teams? I would say yes right now.
DeAndre wasn't terrible. He just does so many things that piss me off, man. Like, he has to dominate, and he doesn't dominate. In the hands thing, man, the hands just.
He's 50% from the
field. A basketball.
21, 22, and 11 rebounds. Like, Chris Paul was awful.
No, he wasn't.
Awful. He took 18 shots. He made 7 of them. That's terrible.
I don't think he was awful. I just don't think he should be playing that much. I think
that's the problem. It's like, why are you playing him 40 minutes?
Monty's rotations have always been a point of contention. They'll talk about this a lot on the Suns show. Not today; they're not live today. But
I lost money on the Suns. That's
later in the week. I lost money on the Suns as well. But we do have to talk about what happened last night. Damian Lillard dropping 71 points, the latest to do so, to 70 plus. Is this the new NBA? And what did you see from Dollar last night?
No, like, you get one of these kind of performances every couple of years.
It makes Donovan Mitchell had a 70-point game earlier this year.
Oh, well, it's irrelevant. To me, it's like, it makes me sad that Damian Lillard, and I've spent a lot of time in the Pac Northwest. Great people. Trailblazers are a good franchise. Like, he should be off that team and get him somewhere else where we can showcase him. Now, we're going to disagree on that because they're never going to be competitive.
No, I don't think they are. For selfishly, I want him to stay because I think it's so awesome to have a player of his caliber just be like, you know what, fuck everybody else. I'm staying here. I'm staying with the team that gave me a chance. Selfishly, I love it. I agree with you.
They were in the Western Conference Finals a couple of years ago. That was their window, and it closed, and they should move on. I mean, like, how many wins do they have this year? 29, 28?
Yeah,
like, they're not a playoff team.
Yeah. Do you think we see 100-point performance in the next 5 or 10 years?
100-point performance? Probably.
Yeah.
I think when we see when teams are, playing overtime games and it's 175, 176 like the other night.
Can I bring that up?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was in an Uber on the way home from the bars. Not drunk, but I was feeling myself a little bit.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. And that game was on, and it was the only NBA game on. I opened up DraftKings. I'm like, I want to get some action on this. This is fun. The over-under was set at 300.5. And I was like, come on. They're like 15 points away from that. There's like a minute 30, 2 minutes to go. I'm like, there might be some fouling, but I'm fine. I'll take it. Second highest scoring game in NBA history, 178 to 175 or whatever it was. That was not the right pick. That might be one of the worst bets I've ever made all time. But getting back to Lillard, who in the NBA is the most likely to score 71 plus next?
Great question. I would think it would be a team that is atrocious defensively, but I think the Suns are going to be too good and too competitive with Kevin Durant. Like, I don't think it's anybody in Phoenix. I think it's got to be another one-man show like Damian Lillard. I would think maybe somebody, I don't know. What's the kid in Atlanta that everybody has turned on now?
Trae Young?
It's like a Trae Young type where the team's terrible, but he's so gifted offensively. Somebody like that.
I got my answer. He's in my props for today. I get what you're saying defensively, but sometimes teams can be good defensively and shit happens. I got Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum could put up an 80-plus point performance. We can go ahead and pull up my props. Tonight I like him over 31.5 points at -110. And I also like Jose Alvarado over 6.5 points. That's only because I think the Pels game can be a blowout and he might get some more playing time. But Jason Tatum, to me, is just he's such a pure scorer. And we know how corny he is with Kobe. We know how he texts him and posts it. I think he would score 81 points and then check himself out of the game, even if it's a close game. He'd be like, I'm not playing anymore. I scored 81 for my guy, and then text him and post it on Twitter and whatever. I hate him. He's corny, but he's a great basketball player.
Gotten a lot better over the last 18 months. Like, he's elevated himself. I mean, really, at this point, you just can't shit the bed in the NBA Finals again.
Yep. It's about all we got. We will be leaving tonight from Sky Harbor to Indianapolis for the NFL Combine. Make sure to keep it locked in right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Follow PHNX_Cardinals all week for some great coverage, wall to wall, of the Combine. You can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable for his updates as well. And I'll be there taking pictures and video of everything. And you can follow me on Twitter at Shane D. If you can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. Follow PHNX_sports across all socials, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We're live every Monday through Friday at noon right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel, but we might not be live tomorrow, or we might not be. Like, the show will still be live, so make sure to come say hi and hang out. But until next time, peace.
Hey,
love.
PHNX Cardinals
Oh.
live, 45 minutes.
Okay.
Me, Bo Brock. Also, Bijan Robinson to the Cowboys, plus 500 on DraftKings. Get it now.
Peace, love, and Johnny picking props that he will forget about in a couple months.
No!